Co-host बना दे मोनिका को भाई.
JC, we are live.
Hi, Sarmishtha ji, how are you?
JC, I'm good. Thank you for inviting me. And I feel
It's an honor to have.
really grateful.
No, don't say like that. In fact, it will be an honor for us to host you today because we understand the intricacies of mind. Basically, we've had too many sessions on doctors. We've had recently, yesterday, we had a very good session on diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And the session was so interesting that people who could not join here, they've gone to the Facebook to watch it. And in just one night, the viewers have gone from maybe 100 to 2,000. So this is how it has grown.
Because it is a very common disease, right? Most of the people in the cities are suffering from that. So they are all very curious to know how they can get out of it, I guess.
So normally in Zoom sessions, we normally expect a crowd of 200 plus or 150 plus, but over the days, because of connection issues, the crowds are not able to join. People are not able to join. And this is becoming a major issue. So I'm trying to say that even if they are not here, you will be heard. So whatever you are saying will go across to the right people at the right time.
Right. I would like to say hi to Rajesh. He's my friend. I can see him. He's already there.
Hi, Rajesh. How are you? Hi. Good to see you, man.
Hi, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Hi to everyone. I'm Sarmishtha and I have joined JC. I live in Dubai. I have joined him. He has invited me to his show and I feel really blessed and honored for that.
So actually, this is thanks to my friend from Australia. I would want you to thank him first.
Definitely. If Manish wouldn't get me in touch with you, then it wouldn't happen today.
Yes, actually, Manish called me up specially to invite you from Dubai because he happens to know you and he feels that you will be a great, you will be giving us a lot of answers and a lot of new things we learned from you today. Kavita, may I request you to please introduce our guest of honor for today?
So, hello everyone. As the topic for today goes, mind games. So, as we all know, mind is a vast field where all action takes place. Not much one does to harness the hidden powers of mind. So, to take us today through this mind-blowing session, we have with us on board all the way from Dubai, Miss Sarmishtha Mitra, a transpersonal psychologist and a behavioral therapist. She uses mind reprogramming tools like hypnotherapy, NLP, CBT too. She assists people tune into their mind and bodies, into their essential information and themselves. Her field of expertise is varied, from beliefs and patterns to health issues, from emotional crisis to spiritual, lack of abundance to low self-esteem, weight problem to relationship problems, anxiety to identity crisis. In her weight loss program, she outlines specific processes to release repressed emotions or trauma or energy blockages, which are the root cause of weight-related. So here she is to take us further through a mindful session. Over to Papa JC.
Thank you, Kavita. Thank you so much. And you're doing a good job by introducing the right way. I would never have been able to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a warm welcome to Papa JC Talk Show. And today we are going to decipher mind. We have literally covered most of the body parts. We also touched mind partially in that. So we've actually covered so many body parts, but this time it's mind. I don't know the connection between mind and brain, which we'll also ask. From here we take off. Before we go into today's session, I must tell you that tomorrow we have an interesting session on Sujok therapy. We've invited Dr. Preeti Ganatra. She will tell us exactly how to cure all the diseases through Sujok therapy, and we will discuss mainly disease curing. We'll not discuss about the other things. We'll touch every disease one after another. So come prepared with all your questions. Tomorrow we'll get you the real answers that you want. But this is alternative medication, so be prepared for solutions. Day after, we have another subject called menopause. As they say, menopause is for men. Humko kya farak padta hai? But I had a discussion with Miss Meenu Agarwal, who is a nutritionist, and she says that this subject is actually for men. Men should know what their wives are going through. Men should know this part of women that they have no idea about. There are so many things that we are supposed to understand and learn. So it is, friends, not only for women. Menopause for tomorrow is for everybody to understand, and how to deal with menopause through nutrition and wellness. That is day after tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Sujok, day after tomorrow is that. Again, on Sunday, we have invited for parenting Mr. Narendra Goidani. He's coming all the way from Pune. He's already very popular with us. He's done one show with us, and there was a huge demand from within to invite him, so he's coming. He's going to address, the topic is Ma and Pa, who does what? So now we move on to today's topic. Sarmishtha ji, welcome on board.
So much.
And tell us about mind. What is this mind?
Mind is everything. Beyond the brain, everything that you know about. It has the connection with the heart, the feelings, the thoughts, the behavior, everything combined, and even outside of us. Everything is mind. So what happens is that I'll just give you a small analog, a story to understand what happens. So you have to imagine that every child born on the planet comes with equal potentials, each one of us, as if we are carrying an invisible ball of light with us. And as we are growing up and experiencing every day, sometimes something about us someone doesn't like. So, for example, I didn't share my toy with my brother, and my mother said, "You are so selfish." And I understood that this is something about me that no one will like. So I started to hide these bits and pieces of myself unconsciously, only to be liked by others. So when I'm an adult today, imagining that ball that I was born with, that invisible ball, I'm just carrying a slice of it today with me. And with that slice, I'm functioning. Obviously, I'm not functioning with my fullest potential. So the rest of the life is about retrieving back those bits and pieces of me, which I have lost unconsciously, just trying to please others, trying to be accepted, trying to feel loved and acknowledged. So this is called integration, and this is the whole process of life. And most of us, we are unaware of it. We go on dealing with life in this way, with this slice of us, not knowing what is it that we are going to do about it.
So you mean to say that it is within me that is a problem, not the outside? I mean, since as a child I did not share my toy, so that becomes my biggest weakness, which I try to cover up.
What are you going to know? What are you going to do now? You were rebuked, for example, for being selfish. Growing up, won't you judge other people who are selfish? Wouldn't that in your mind become a vice? Because
yes,
as a child, you were taught that's a bad thing and you should not show that. So we begin to judge others by the same standards which we have not been allowed to express.
Okay, so basically we are trying to say that there are some things within us which we are carrying along with our, as we grow up, these things come with us as a nature of our mind, or maybe we carry these as in bits and parts as pains in our minds. How do we express this?
So this is the part that you are aware of, who we call JC, for example, as you know yourself. Is that the slice of you that you have carried with you until now? So what we do is we try to understand the mind through the behavior of the person that you are today. Why are you the way you are? What made you become this person of today? Are you happy being who you are? If not, what is it that you have to retrieve that you have lost in the past?
Okay, I get it. And what therapies you use or what methods you use to find out about my past and what I have lost or what I have done? How do you do it normally?
So I will give you a small example from my life itself. So for a ordinary woman today, growing up, studying, wanting to establish a career, and then you're coming from a background, I'm coming from a background where my mother and father both were working. My mother had been earning more than my father, and my mother was more educated than my father. As a result, I had seen conflicts in the house, marital conflicts. What would a child growing in that household understand? That this is not right. In order to have marital peace or bliss, you should earn less than your husband. You should not be as educated or more educated than your husband. Then only you'll have happy married life. So that's what a girl like me growing up in that house would understand. And unconsciously, I would hide my ambitions. My ambitions would be hidden in order to achieve that happiness which I would not see in my parents. I think many of us grew up in such atmospheres, in such circumstances in life. Then I met my husband when I was 17 years old. And he said, I don't want a career woman to be my wife. I want someone who is ready to be a housewife, who's going to look after the family. And I said, yeah, that's me. I was thinking in my mind, yeah, that's me, because I never wanted to be bigger or better than him in any way. So I got married, life went on, but I was not happy. So why wasn't I happy if that is all I wanted in life? So that means there are parts of me which I have hidden unconsciously because I wanted to be accepted, liked in the way I understood in my mind. But that was not all of me. That was only a part of me. And the rest of me, which I had repressed, now would come back in life as crisis. So whoever is going through crisis in life, any kind of crisis, whether it's addiction, whether it's health, whether it's emotional issues, whether it's marital issues, it is your time to wake up. It is your time to look and see what is it that the crisis is trying to show about you that you had unconsciously repressed back in your childhood. Because through that crisis, I'm going to find my part, that part which I can't see otherwise. Because when I had the crisis, I knew that this is not what I want to be. I don't want to be a housewife in the house. I want to be something, I want to have my own identity. And that is what this crisis helped me to find myself. And unfortunately for human beings, it is through adversity that we grow. It's very unfortunate though, but this is how it happens in our human life. So my whole journey, my whole learning, and also my work is related to help people find those paths, integrate them so that they can become whole again. I use different therapeutic modalities for that, and I combine so that whichever way it helps the person to understand who they are, to find them back and find that harmony within themselves.
Excellent. So now, a few things. Point number one, what does your husband treat you like now that you're a successful entrepreneur yourself?
It was never the problem with my husband, remember? It was my problem because I thought that's the best way to get happiness.
Okay, so it's sorted. That part is sorted. Secondly, you are married. You could have escaped that topic mentioned because I never knew you were married. I thought I'll ask you which college are you studying in?
Okay, that's very flattering, but that's really flattering. Thank you so much.
Great. Okay, now we want to understand there are with mind we know that it's all about the mind. Weakness is all about the mind. Whether it is of any other weakness, like we have addictions, we have so many weaknesses. Otherwise, where let's say suppose I like a woman, so I get attracted. So this physicality, mind, it works in such a chemistry to finally move ahead with a relationship. If I'm wrong, please correct me. So we go into each one individually. I am not able to, why is that smile for?
No, because I need you to clarify the question once again.
Okay, let's say that people have a lot of these dysfunctional defects. I would relate them to the mind. I would say that brain is the biggest organ for that kind of a relationship. So when the mind is not really, there's a phrase, it says the brain is the biggest sex organ. I didn't want to use this word actually, but how far you think it is true?
So I don't think it is true at all. It's not about what I think. It's it's how nature has made us. It's the hardware versus the software. The hardware is our biology, our physiology, and the software is the social programming, the religious programming, the cultural programming. That is the software. So what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do, what is right from wrong, what is good, what makes you good from a bad person, all of this is the software, I would say. But the hardware says survive and procreate.
Excellent, excellent. You did it so beautifully. It was so easy. Hardware, software, ठीक है. But normally दिमाग जो है ना वो बहुत जगह दिमाग एक रेजिस्टेंस हो जाता है. हमको वेट लॉस करना है, हमको पता है कि हमको नहीं खाना है, लेकिन हमारा दिमाग जो है कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते हैं और खाने चले जाते हैं. We had a session with one of the doctors who said very clearly that we don't eat for the stomach, we eat for the mind. It's a mind that makes us eat more than we are supposed to eat. For the stomach, we need only this much food. But it is the mind who says, नहीं थोड़ा और खा लेते हैं, थोड़ा और कुछ कर लेते हैं. So we'll get into all that. We start with a very interesting topic, de-addiction. A lot of my friends are suffering with this alcohol addiction, I would say, specifically, and they have other addictions. How do you understand as a doctor that the child who is today is also addicted to something or the other and may shift that addiction from games of today to maybe another object in future? Let's discuss this topic called addiction and mind.
So addiction is something that is coming in your way to become productive. You can do whatever you want, but if it is stopping you from becoming productive, that is addiction, and that becomes compulsive because it is pushing, it is controlling you. You are not controlling it anymore. Now the problem is, why do people do that? People do that not because, of course, the fun that they get out of it. There could be varied kinds of addiction. I mean, starting from alcohol, cigarette, as you said, within kids, like too much gaming. It could be anything like pornography, drugs, anything. So whatever it is, the person is actually hiding unconsciously, they are not aware, a very deep void inside of them. And as a therapist, the first thing that we do, we identify the void in that person, and then we treat the void. And once the void is properly treated, then we do behavioral therapy to set some behavioral changes, because we are, after all, who we show we are. So from the outside, we change the inside then. And then in the long term, the person can have a different personality altogether based on a new behavior that the person is going to express himself with. So this is a whole combination of behavioral therapy with a lot of core issue involving the void, replacing the void with something which the person now understands. Okay, I was not just playing games, or I was not just drinking because it was giving me fun. So I was doing smoking sessions with clients, and there is a client who I recently helped with smoking, and she had this mechanism as a child. She had a dysfunctional childhood. The parents were not really, I would say, in a harmonious relationship. So what happened is she became the rescuer of the family. She would rescue the mother when she was in distress. She would rescue the father when father was an alcoholic, would rescue him. And this became her personality. So you have to understand something, everyone, and JC, that we become who we are today based on what was accepted, how we got acknowledgement, how we got attention. So whenever as a child she would rescue her parents, all the attention would be on her. Otherwise they would be fighting and no attention on the child. So the child learns behavior through this mechanism. So when I'm a rescuer, I get what I want. And then over the period of time, we become this becomes our identity. So from the rescuer, whenever she can't rescue anyone now, she just goes into smoke. When she smokes, she calms down and she doesn't have the need to rescue anyone. And the moment she can't rescue anyone, she gets inside a lot of rage. And that rage she only can control if she's smoking. So a lot of things happen. It's not that easy that, okay, someone is smoking, someone is drinking, someone is watching porn, or someone is playing games. It's why are they doing it? What is the core issue that is creating this compulsive behavior in them? If we can understand, we can resolve. Once we can resolve, new set of behavior can be adopted. It's not that difficult, but it's not that easy also. The person should have faith and patience on himself or herself, that yes, I can do it. Everything that I am today, I learned it. I am who I am because I learned unconsciously. Today, I choose to be who I want to be because I want to unlearn the past and learn something new for the present. And I choose now. Earlier, I was powerless. I didn't have a choice. Now I'm powerful. I have the choice to become who I want to be.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, very interesting. This was very, very good. The way you explained that as a child she was a rescuer, and now that she's not able to rescue, she's going into having the cigarette. So that becomes an addiction to balance that part of not being a rescuer. Excellent. I think this is such an interesting insight. And what other, can you please share some more examples of such patients that you may have cured as addiction? This is one very interesting example, so that we can all relate to ourselves in real life and understand that yes, this could be us also. As we go through it.
Yeah, it could be anything. It could be, again, there was a client who felt unaccepted. Like this client in the family, he's the only child, he looks different from the other siblings. So when he went to school, in that community, he used to look different than the other kids in the class. So he never really felt that he belonged. So belonging is a very strong thing that helps us to bond with people, that helps us to connect when we feel accepted. And that basic thing, not to feel accepted, can create a lot of emotional trauma in every child. And that we carry. It just adds up to one day, finally, we become someone who cannot accept anyone, because we reflect, we project whatever we are onto others. So when we can't accept anyone, we are actually projecting that non-acceptance, that people didn't accept me when I was a kid. So this child, he grows up and he has addiction issues. So when did he learn to smoke? In school, when he wanted to be as cool as the other cool kids in class. So here, I need to belong. belonging gives a very good, secure feeling. And we, as animals, social animals, we love to belong.
Awesome. I must read out the chat. There are some very beautiful replies now that's come in. Beautifully explained addiction issues, very well explained. Then there's another one. This is very nice. Beautifully explained. So how did you replace the attention component in this behavior modification? Or was the function of behavior in the above case was calming oneself? From Priyanka. Priyanka, you would like to ask that question directly. It's a wonderful way of interaction. I'm liking. Now, this topic is actually becoming very interesting. Sarmishtha ji, I was a little worried that this is not a normal prescriptive doctor's interaction. So how do you discuss such a vague topic called brain, mind connecting other thoughts? Would you like to ask that question, Priyanka Sethi ji? Please raise your hand. I'll just unmute you.
Sure.
In the meantime, yeah, please ask.
Hi, Sarmishtha.
Hi, Priyanka.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am enjoying the talk, honestly. I'm really, really good. Thank you for discussing this in details. I think this is one thing that all of us, as viewers, really need to understand, specifically the behavior modification part. So I loved your first example where you were talking about one of your clients, and in the beginning, the way you explained it was like the only way she was getting her attention from the parents was when she was, I'm not
The
sure.
rescuer, yeah.
The rescuer. So, and she started smoking because that used to give her a calming effect, right?
Yeah.
So that was there. So just wanted to understand, because it was very nice to know how you modified her behavior. If you could just detail out in ways like how did you do that, and how did you replace the calming effect? If it was the function of the behavior was by smoking, she was able to calm herself. What was the other components that you provided her so that she can not
So
smoke?
we during therapy, we give them tools like self-hypnosis, tools like EET, emotional empowerment technique that the client does on themselves when they have urges, because urges are going to come because you have been smoking for so long, and 1 session, 2 session, 3 sessions doesn't take away urges. But when you have those urges, you can cool yourself down by those techniques like we teach to the client. And then it takes about 21 to 28 days for any new behavior to get imprinted in the mind. It's called neuroplasty or neurogenesis, through which anything that you learn constantly every single day for 21 to 28 days, you begin to show new behavioral patterns.
Okay. So one, it needs a thorough understanding as to in terms of what the
core issue, yeah.
The core issues. And then it requires a lot of understanding in terms of what therapy would apply in its place to help deal with such urges as per se, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then give them tools so that they can manage themselves when you are not there, like you're not there with them during therapy.
Okay. So it's more like doing it themselves.
Because they have to manage their urges when you're not around, right? So in the middle of the night, when they're alone at home, or they're like that feeling that crops up again, that, yeah, I need a smoke. I just need to light it up. So then they can have those techniques to divert themselves, distract themselves until this becomes their new behavior.
Okay. And just for the just being a devil's advocate also, I'm sure there would be cases also in terms of when you would want to still give in to your urge and not go in and continue with what has been suggested.
Definitely. Because see, then it's the responsibility of the client. We always tell the client, for any addiction, it is 50-50 responsibility. I'm going to give you the tools, I'm going to identify the core issue and help you resolve it. But whether you're going to do it or whether you're going to discontinue, it's going to be your responsibility. So you have come for de-addiction and you said, okay, now I have an urge and I want to give in to the urge. Fine, go ahead, do it. You're an adult.
Right. I get that. Because again, it's a learned behavior and it requires a lot of, it has a...
Definitely. So at least 21 to 28 days of constant reprogramming yourself can only take you out of it. Because actually the nicotine in the blood stays only for 48 hours. The rest is
Mhm.
habit. After
Hmm.
48 hours, people can't say that it's the nicotine withdrawal. No, it's not.
Exactly, pretty much, which applies to a lot of other behaviors, like the food behaviors also, which Papa JC just discussed, like in terms of training our mind in terms of that our body requires only this much of food and rest is all our mind
See,
thing.
food, I'm going to talk like it's another issue altogether. So I'm going to, because it comes with a lot of lack of self-worth.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you, Priyanka. Lovely talking to you. And please keep coming back. You are going to enjoy the sessions all the more. Okay, we now go to the second interesting topic. See how we sequence it. Let's see. I was just thinking how we sequence it. First, as we said, was addiction, which you clearly explained. If you have something more to say, please say, because we'll move to the next topic. That would be food, and then we move on to relationship management. And then
JC, you're the boss.
No. I am saying is that I am not the boss today. You are the boss. And
You're the
I would
boss.
like
I'm
you
the
to,
guest. I'll maintain my decorum as the guest. So you're the boss. You go ahead.
You are so sweet. I mean, ऐसे normally होता नहीं है. इसलिए हम पे छोड़ देंगे तो फिर show गड़बड़ा जाएगा. Because it is you who takes the show.
I'll take it
okay,
from
now,
you. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll do it.
Done. Now you have to. Do you want to say a closing line on addiction? Something that you want everyone, some mantras of yours for addiction and mind. Would you like to close this topic and we move on to the next one? In the meantime, if anybody has to ask a question, please raise your hand. And if you want to write on the chat, Please feel free to interact. She is here all the way from Dubai. Otherwise, you'll have to
I'm
go to
still in
Dubai to see her.
I'm still in Dubai. I'm not here all the way from Dubai.
I mean, you are here with us from all the way from Dubai. So to get to connect with you, it'll be not as easy as this. So please ask your questions as you want to ask. You want to give a closing mantra on addiction, please? Something that you want our addiction people to adopt or change.
I can only say this, which I understand. Today, as the adult, remember, you have the choice. You are no more the child who didn't have the choice, so you had to do whatever you were asked to do. As the adult, you're the one in power and you're the one who decides. So whatever you decide is going to be for the best of you. My mantra is done.
So, thank you so much for the mantra. बहुत ही अच्छा मंत्रा था. बचपन में बोला होता तो शायद मैं एडिक्शन वाले बहुत सारे लोग छूट गए होते अपने.
बचपन में मुझे पता होता तो मैं जरूर बोल देती आपको.
Okay. ये बताया हमें कि relationship, difficulties in relationship, can we really fix the other person? Now it's a very intriguing question. I'm asking a very intriguing question. Relationship between me are normally between two people, if not at large, normally between two people. So normally जब हमारा relationship खराब होता है, we blame the other person always. So please tell us, how do we fix the other person? Is it possible to fix the other person here? Or even some examples.
Sure, I'll give you example. JC, आपके बाल थोड़ा खराब कीजिए. खराब कर दीजिए.
कर दिया.
ठीक है.
इससे ज़्यादा खराब होता नहीं है. मेरा बहुत अच्छा बाल है.
जितना भी गंदा हो सकता है कर दीजिएगा प्लीज.
कर दिया.
ठीक है.
कर दिया. भाई मेरा हेयर बैंड दे दो यार. ये तो मेरे को आज पूरा जोकर बनाने वाली है. बोल.
आप सामने आपके टीवी स्क्रीन, कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन पे आप खुद को देख रहे हैं ना?
आज ये देख रहे हैं.
ठीक है. अभी जो हेयर अनटैंगल्ड या नॉट इन प्लेस है, वो ठीक करने के लिए आप कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन को हाथ लगाइए. टच योर कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन एंड फिक्स योर हेयर.
Oh no, that's not possible. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. It will not happen. I will have to use a hairbrush.
You have to use it on yourself.
Yes.
Can
yes.
you fix the mirror?
No, I can't fix the mirror.
It's the same thing in relationships. We are mirroring each other.
Okay. So what actually is happening between two people that is wrong?
So if I have lack of self-worth, I will attract a man into my life who will make my life hell, who will make me feel I'm the most awful, miserable woman in this planet. And I will be so caught up in the pain, I will not be able to see the reflection that he is projecting, and I'll try to fix him like you are trying to fix the computer screen. Let's fix the aina. Let's fix the mirror. It's never going to happen. And we all do that. We keep on changing one relationship to other, thinking that the next guy is going to make a difference in my life. But most of us get stuck in a pattern where we attract the same kind of relationship over and over again because we are not fixing my hair. I'm fixing the mirror. And then I'm fed up that the mirror can't be fixed and I'm quitting.
So that you mean to say that the problem lies within us. When between two people, if there's a relationship issue, you want to say that the problem is within me, that I am not able to solve it. How do we address this? Give us some more interesting examples, how we can relate to that particular example and correct ourselves then.
For example, I'll give you again my example. Someone who grows up into believing that you can't have a career which is better than your husband. You can't have education better than your husband. I'm also not happy with myself because I'm not doing enough to prove that I'm good enough, right? So I'm always having this feeling I'm not good enough in life. And then what happens? Every person I meet, they make me feel I'm not good enough. They make me feel, my husband, my in-laws, or whoever it is, my friends, they make me feel I'm not good enough. It's not limited with one person, but most of the people I will meet will make me feel I'm not good enough until I begin to feel good enough about myself.
So you mean it's a law of attraction. It's the law of attraction which works here. We attract what is within
okay,
us.
I'll give you another example, another beautiful story, okay? So imagine that every child born on the planet, we blindfold the child, okay? And we take the child into a, I would say, into a field where there are a lot of precious stones and pebbles. Okay, now you fix your hair first, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I did it.
Okay, so with that blindfold, we leave the child in that field where there are diamonds and rubies, sapphires, and there are pebbles and stones also. And the child is blindfolded. And we ask the child that this is your field, you're going to pick up whatever you can. The child can't see. So the child is picking up whatever comes into his hand. Some are rubies, some are diamonds, some are just pebbles and stones, right? But the child is carrying everything inside the bag, and it's a journey. He has to carry, go on. The bag is becoming heavier and heavier and heavier. And every time, the things that he doesn't need, he doesn't know that he's carrying with him. He doesn't know that he has to throw them away, okay? But he's still carrying it. And every time the bag becomes heavy, it becomes difficult to walk. And he sometimes stumbles over the rocks. Sometimes he hits his head somewhere. But he still doesn't know that he has to open his eyes and see what he's carrying. There will be one point in your life when the hit that something's going to hit you will be so strong that you will open the blindfold and then you'll look inside the bag and then you'll figure out, what is it that I'm carrying? Most of it is rubbish. Let me throw it away and only carry those precious gems with me. And that is what happens to all of us.
Excellent. You're such a good storyteller. You won't believe I was in that fantasy land for a while, imagining myself as a child and doing all this. It's so nice to listen to you. It's so good. You must go on. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, you must hold on. There is a very interesting meditation that she has designed for you for immunity. Now, immunity through meditation is something I have not heard of. The moment she said that she wants to do it, I said, bang on the button. We are doing it. So hold on to it. If you're not going to be here, you're going to miss out on it. Okay, now you continue, ma'am.
Should I?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. So what I was saying is that every time we get hit, we feel that, okay, ye to kuch nahi, we can overcome this. Ye to kuch nahi, we can overcome this. And we forget to see, we forget to open up the blindfold. Abhi blindfold kya hai? Actually, it's a metaphor, right? We can see with our eyes, but we don't have the inner eye open. The inner eye is shut. That is under blindfold. So when something in life, an experience that really hits you hard, then only you take that time to open your inner eye and look inside of yourself to figure out what is it that I was not doing right. And that is what relationships does to us. It opens our inner eye. It allows us to see what is it that I was carrying with me, which I didn't need to carry, perhaps. Perhaps those are the pebbles and the stones that I need to throw away and just collect that precious gems which I am. Once you figure that out, if you have that awareness, so in my profession, I help people to understand that. Relationship counseling, when people come, I help them to figure out that what the other person is showing you is the stones and the pebbles that you had collected thinking it is you, thinking that this is precious stone. So both the man and the woman, both are reflecting each other's pebbles and stones, and none of them like what they see, because we don't like what we don't want to feel. Oh, I don't want to feel I'm worthless. Do you want to feel, JC, that you're worthless? No, you don't want to feel. But if it is I'm in a relationship and the man constantly makes me feel worthless, what will I do? I will try to change that man. That's the automatic tendency that we all have. We want to fix the outside, but we forget that the blindfold is inside. I have to open this, and then I'll be able to see inside. And that's what we do. That's the beauty of our work. It's not just psychology. It's not just the mind. As I said, it's the mind and the body and the spirit. We help people open their inner eye to see inside, so that they can understand what is it that I'm getting stuck? What is it that's blocking me? What is it that's coming and resisting? And what is it that's trying to show up every time? And I cannot understand. Now, it's yours now.
Excellent. You explained it very beautifully, man. It's really good to hear something like this, where we say that it is we who are carrying the loads within ourselves and we don't get rid of them. So very beautifully explained. You'd like to sum it up with something very interesting on relationships, because as we say, move on to the next topic, there's something which you said is about stones and pebbles that we should throw, as in our songs we should give away, so that we are not reflected that same thing from the mirror of relationship which you're talking about. Would you like to say something for relationships particularly, and we move on to the next topic?
It's the same thing. I would just say, I tell my clients the same thing. So what is it that the one in the relationship, if you're a woman, try to figure out what is it that the man is trying to make you feel about yourself. Okay, it's not, oh, he makes me feel angry, he makes me feel sad. Not that. What is he making you feel about yourself? So he's making me feel worthless. He's making me feel I'm good for nothing. He's making me feel I'm not good enough. I'm talking about those things. What is the man now? If you're a man, what is the woman making you feel about yourself? Figure that out. If you can figure that out, you will then ask yourself, so why am I not good enough? What makes me not good enough? And then make a list. Make a list of those things that maybe the wildest and the silliest things that come into your mind that makes you feel you're not good enough. Write those down. And then you will see, these are the things, these are the pebbles that you had collected. And these are the things that you have to get rid of. And then call me, I'll help you.
Excellent. That was lovely. Rajesh, you want to say something? Rajesh, you were unmuted. You want to say something? Okay, good. We move on to the next topic. In the meanwhile, if anybody wants to ask a question, I'm getting a lot of compliments from the chat box. I can read that. Superman, very well explained. Would you like to share something on how to overcome fears in general, especially in this pandemic situation? Oh, we'll come to that. We'll come to that. Priyanka ji, please stay by. We're going to discuss that topic also. But right now we'll go into the next interesting topic, which is about food. How do we, no, not food, I mean anger management. Now, anger management is the most important difficulty that we face normally in real life, because we are mostly not sure how we will control ourselves when we get angry. Small little things from others make us angry. We can't control that. We are angry because the others make us angry, or they do things which we don't like. So how do we address that here? Now, since you explained the relationship in such a beautiful way, please tell us how to address our anger.
What is anger?
Anger, okay, right? Please write down on the chat. She wants to know from you what is anger. Please write down what you want to know about anger. So you can, in the meantime, let them write. You could continue with your explanation.
You tell me your definition. What is anger?
Anger, gussa. Hindi mein gussa, Angrezi mein anger. Aur kya?
Bangla rag.
Bangla rag. There's a question that's come up. Question on anger and fear management. Occasionally, we have to deal with people in profession who are habitually rude and aggressive. In speaking or dealing with them, we generate emotions like fear or anger, due to which our logical thinking gets distorted. How to tune the mind and thoughts then? Anger is an emotion. What we don't like or hear, my frustrations. These are some good questions, answers that have come to your question of what is anger.
Okay. Okay. So anger is just a behavior that we have learned. It's a learned behavior. And we express ourselves in anger whenever we lose power. It gives us a sense of pseudo power. And actually, the person who is angry or expressing or behaving angrily is feeling utterly powerless inside.
Oh my God. Ulta ho gaya.
Because he is suppressing his powerlessness, that feeling of powerlessness, by his behavior, aggressive behavior on the outside, to dominate his surrounding so that he can gain that power which he doesn't feel inside. A person who is powerful inside, who always feels powerful, doesn't need to express in anger.
Okay, you mean to say that the weak side of his is that he is otherwise weakling or weak inside, but he dominates with anger. He tries to show the dominance with his anger.
Anger is a behavior. Anger is a behavior. It's not the root emotion. The emotion is helplessness and powerlessness. So, for example, I am always trying to correct you, but you are not going to listen to me. So I'm feeling helpless because you're not listening to me. Anger is the automatic behavior through which I express my helplessness so that I gain control over my situation and you obey me.
Excellent. Excellent. So now let's make her angry. Please ask her more questions. Today I want to see the anger side of Sarmishtha ji. Uska all the way to Dubai.
That is something no one has seen. So neither have I.
So feel free to ask your questions. Please raise your hands, ask your questions. Let's try to make her angry with so many questions that she should show her anger now to us.
Please,
so
please
how
ask
do we
me.
manage this anger? So how do we manage this anger?
Again, if anger is a behavior, it is managed by behavior therapy. Once we address the root cause, so what is it that's making you helpless? What is it that's making you powerless? We have to understand that first. Once we understand that, then we help the client deal with that root cause first, and then put in place behavioral techniques so that the client can adopt a new behavior. Because remember, you're an adult. You are not just a function of your old programming. So I'm helpless. This is how I should do. Or I have seen my father angry at home always, and my mother and everyone at home would always give themselves in to whatever my father would ask for, because no one dared to disturb him. No one dared to confront him when he was angry. And this is what I learned. In order to be powerful, I have to be like my father. It is a learned behavior.
Wow. Wow, that was good. I mean, that was actually such a good way of giving my reasons for being angry, but then how do I manage? Now, you have said very clearly that anger is a behavior. I am angry because I have learned it in the past that this is the only way I can show my domination over a relationship or over a person, or cover my weakness of being a weak. But how do I control it now? I mean, I have reached a stage where I need to control. So please tell us how to control it.
Will you come for therapy?
Yeah, I'm here right now with you.
This is not therapy. Therapy is when you come one-on-one sessions and do therapy. Pay for that session. That is therapy. Anger management is therapy.
So you are asking me to pay for it. Now you're making me angry, actually.
I know. So what I'm saying is that
Please.
what I'm saying is that you have to understand what makes you angry. If you know that, we all know that everyone who is angry or who expresses anger has learned it because again, everyone here, this is something I would like you all to think about. Who we think we are is just a set of rules that we have made in our mind unconsciously for self-preservation and acceptance. This is who we are. So anger is the rule or the program that you have created unconsciously in your mind for self-preservation. It is not for acceptance, because no one will accept you with your anger, but you can preserve yourself. So what is it that you're preserving? What part of you is under threat? What is being challenged? We have to figure it out. Once we figure that out, the rest is not that difficult.
Okay, great. That was really good. Now, going from anger, like we go from anger, the next step is stress. Anger, stress. Is there a continuity in that, or why do we feel that stress so much? Is anger a part of stress, or stress is completely different subject?
Stress is anything that an external manifestation of a challenge or a crisis or a threat which you feel you don't have the resource to deal with.
Okay.
If you had the resource, it wouldn't be stressful.
Okay. Okay, so how do we deal with that stress? Suppose we have a stress in our
as
minds.
someone said in the office, the boss is always being rude and aggressive. Like, it is making that person who is going through this behavior stressed, right? All the time. Because he feels he or she doesn't have the resource to tackle this situation. So the side effect is stress. I am powerless. I can't deal with it. So this is automatic. It happens whenever we feel we don't have the resource to deal with any situation, circumstances which is challenging, threatening, creates a crisis, emotional or physiological or circumstantial, we get stressed. And then the normal things that happen in the body begins to happen automatically. The brain says, okay, it's like now the story is going back thousands of years ago when you were in the caves. You are a caveman now, right? And you don't have much of emotional development, but your hardware is survival and procreation. So you know how to survive and you know how to procreate. That's all you know. For survival, you have to gather food. You have to deal with dangerous animals outside of you, outside your cave. You have to deal with them, or inside. They come in inside because you don't have any safety mechanism that protects you. So the moment you enter the forest to forage fruits, you see a tiger chasing you. Suddenly it comes out from the bushes and it chases you. So will you be in a state to stand and measure the tiger? Oh, it's 6 feet long, or no, it's 2 feet now. I can deal with it. You wouldn't be doing it, right? Naturally, the response of the body, the hardware, will set you on a survival mode, which is flight, fight, and freeze. Flight is running away from the problem. Fight, when we run, but the problem takes over, like the tiger is coming closer and closer and closer, and I can't run away from it anymore. Then I look back and give it a last dead blow. If it dies, it dies. If it kills me, I die. Or there is still another mechanism that's called the freeze mechanism, where we act dead. We stiffen our body, we hold our breath, so that the animal can mistake us to be dead. And predators, they don't kill dead animals because they like the chase. So they will leave me and they will go away, and I will have my chance to run away to life again. These are the three ancient, primitive stress mechanisms in our body. You don't have to think about anything, any of one of these. It is naturally your body sets this whenever we face any kind of struggle, crisis, challenge, threat. Now, modern man, the tiger is not outside, the tiger is inside our head. So there is no way that you can run away, that no way you can hit it. So what happens? There's a constant flight and fight and freeze mechanism that's like on the roll inside your body constantly. Earlier on, what would happen? Either you die or the tiger dies, your stress is over. You come back to again homeostasis. You feel again, you're living life. Next thing is again, eat food and procreate. Life is back to normal. But when the stress is here, it's emotional. If the survival need is here, then you can't run away, you can't fight it. You're constantly living with it. Then it becomes difficult to manage. That's why today's time we have stress management. Because we know how much you have weapons to kill the tiger, you can't kill your stress with it.
Great. Chetna ji, you wanted to ask a question. Why don't you raise your hand? I can't see you actually. Chetna ji, you have written in the chat box you want to ask a question.
Please. Sarmishtha, I want to ask you a question on relationship.
Yeah.
You said that when we face issues with any relationship, we have to see what the other person is wanting to make, what I'm feeling, what the other person is trying to make me feel. Now, in this case, for example, my daughter, I'm having issues with her at present. And when I'm thinking what she's trying to make me feel is that she feels that I feel that men are more superior than women. She wants me to realize that I'm thinking wrong, but that is not the correct thing at all. So does it, can this have exceptions? This rule that you taught us, that you have to think what the other person is trying to make me feel and then change
What does
that.
she make me feel? What does she make you feel about yourself?
Yes, she tries trying to make me realize that I think men are...
No. What is she trying to make you feel about yourself? What she's saying, I'm not asking.
She's not saying that. She's trying to make me feel that by her...
Yeah, but what does that make you feel about yourself? Not about men, not about what you think about men. How does that make you feel about yourself?
I didn't get what you're saying. I'm so sorry.
So people behave, people say things. It's not how they behave or what they say thing is the reflection. The reflection is what they make us feel about ourselves. So with her behavior, with her words or the language she uses, how do you feel about yourself as a mother in that relationship?
I feel less understood.
Yes. So that means that is your issue.
Okay, got it. Got it
Okay.
now. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Did you actually get the answer, ma'am? I think you...
Yes, I did, Papa. Yes.
Correct. That's very good. That's so good, ma'am. Any more questions to be asked? Please raise your hands. This is such a wonderful session we are having now about the mind games. Please feel free to ask your questions because she will give you prescriptive answers which will actually help you resolve so many issues. We move on to the other topics. Yeah, why are you nodding your head? You trying to say something?
No. I'm just enjoying your talk.
Okay, good. So I have to do all these dramas, otherwise people will not
No,
like
I
to stay
know.
here. That's
I
important.
know. That's why I was laughing.
Okay. There's a question that came up to my phone right now. My daughter is facing this issue of obesity. She's 24. She frequently goes into depression. And recently, in order to lose weight, she has started exercising. But she is overdoing it to get quick results. And if her weight remains the same, then it becomes demotivating for her and she gives up on exercise also. Now, how do you help this particular problem?
So when we deal with the weight management program, people come with weight issues. The first question that I ask them, think about the most wildest, most silliest thing that comes into your mind. Why do you deserve to be fat?
I deserve to be fat because that's a luxury.
Luxury to be fat. Then why would you
Yeah.
why would you ever get out of it? Do you want to get rid of luxury?
I change because I feel that maybe I will look better on the photograph. Maybe I'll look better on the videos.
No.
Maybe I'll look better.
I said the question was, why do you deserve to be fat?
Because that's luxury, na Baba. Have you ever thought of a Ambani who's thin? You can't imagine an Ambani who's thin. You have to look.
So it's like okay. खाते पीते घर का दिखना चाहिए नहीं. खाते पीते लगना चाहिए, दिखना चाहिए. So you have to admit that you are coming from that background. So you will never lose weight, my dear JC.
Okay.
So I'll not take you as my client, definitely.
Okay, so that's the mindset. I'm saving myself from the expenditure. The other that I use is that I want to look like a happy married person.
No, we are digressing. So let's come back. What I'm trying to say is that if you really want to lose weight, you have to first ask yourself, why do I deserve to be fat? What is it that I'm getting? Or what is the worst thing that can happen to me if I lose weight? You will understand what is the core issue that is projecting through your body and keeping you fat. Because everything about us, how we appear, how people think about us, is a projection of our inner self. That blindfold story, that means it's still blindfolded inside. She doesn't know if it is about your daughter or whoever. She has to understand what is it that makes her feel that she doesn't deserve to lose weight, or what is it that will happen to her, the worst thing that can happen to her if she loses weight. I'll give you an example because I think people get very confused when I talk like this. So I had recently a weight loss client had come for therapy. So she just wants to lose a few kilos at certain parts of her body, not like all over the body, but certain parts of her body. And like gymming, exercise, dieting, all of that is good, but sometimes you lose motivation. Sometimes you diet, you lose the weight, and then once you go back to your normal food, then again you gain back that weight on even more after that. So it really doesn't help in the long term. So one vital thing about weight is lack of self-worth. Why would you feel you don't deserve to look good? What is it that makes you feel this way? You will have 10,000 pebbles in that bag or stones that you're carrying, slices and slices from that ball that you have repressed and hidden, that makes you believe you don't deserve it, that makes you believe that you're unworthy of it. We retract back, we retrieve back for the client. We make them all together again so that they can feel worthy. They can feel they are worthy of losing that weight. They're worthy of looking good. So this client in particular, she has weight around her arms, like arms and back, this side. And her goal is to lose that weight so that she can wear clothes, I would say nice, not nice, like sexy clothes, and where she can reveal that part of her body, like top part of her body. But she can't wear, because even though her rest of the body is okay, this part is overly big. So, and the funny thing about our therapy is it like really makes us understand that it is like so simple to lose ourselves in this process of life. We just lose ourselves. We just become what people tell us to become, to be liked, to be fancied by others, to be accepted by others. So when she was growing up, she was a kid. When she was 13 years old or 12 years old, and she would be wearing revealing clothes, a teenager and all of that, and her mother one day called her slut. And she has this inside her mind ever since, that every time, if she ever reveals, then no one, she's going to be considered as a disrespectful woman. So in her mind, her body will not allow her to be a disrespectful woman. So that part of the body which she wants to reveal will always remain covered, so that she doesn't have to reveal that part. So it's very interesting, the kind of work that we do. And every day I learn so much from my client. And through them, it's a beautiful integration that happens within me. I learn about myself through my clients. And I feel, I'm like collecting those bits and pieces of myself through every individual that I'm meeting every day. And it's such an enriching and wholesome experience. Over to you, Papa.
To give, what kind of answer? What kind of answer would you like to give to this particular question, where she's saying how does she address this particular part of her daughter who feels depressed when she can't lose weight, so she gives up, or she does it more aggressively? So how does she address this particular
issue? As I said, I told you what she should be asking, this question that she should be asking the child, or the child should ask herself. Why don't I deserve to look good? There is definitely an issue of lack of self-worth in the child. So whatever reason the child had earlier on to feel less worthy of herself is coming out in her weight.
Okay, there's another question that has come up. Now, we are now into the chapter of obesity, right? Now, there's another question. Obesity in young and growing children. I have almost driven to that chapter of obesity, or as in weight loss and mind. Mm-hmm. So, before we hear from you about this, there's one question that just come up. Obesity in young and growing children is of major concern. If elders question them on their daily habits, exercises, yoga and fasting, etc., they become more arrogant, aggressive, and sometimes engage in the world of their own. How to address such weight obesity related issues?
Okay.
Now, you can answer this question by talking about the topic.
Yeah. So it's a passive aggressive behavior that we have in our children. What passive as well as aggressiveness to being controlled, they are indirectly self-sabotaging themselves. So this is a behavior that needs to be corrected. A parent cannot help the child, because when the parent and the child dynamics comes up, it's about the parent trying to control. So the father is saying, listen, I'm your dad. If you don't listen to me, you have to get out of this house. The mother is saying, this is my house. As long as you're here, you have to do what I tell you. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, because this is how the child sees the parent, a domination, and the child doesn't want to be dominated. And especially when we are in our teenagers, we feel we have grown up enough and we have heard all of this bullshit enough, and we don't want to hear this anymore. So in this case, it would be best to address the child, to talk to a counselor, so that they can see that it is their passive aggressiveness that is creating some kind of self-sabotage, and they are harming themselves. by trying to go show their, what should I say, their revolt against the parent, they're actually harming themselves. Off to you, JC. JC, your screen has frozen.
Might have lost his connection. Wait a minute. Might have lost him.
Yeah, I lost my connection. I was out.
Okay.
So I'm back again. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can.
Great. I'm coming back.
Good to have you back.
There are so many connections. Falguni ji, I am unmuting you. Falguni ji, Ravi, please unmute. Yeah. Okay. Now, the topic that we were talking about was about that. Can we go into that straight topic of? Are you there? Am I visible?
You are not, but we can see the black
Okay,
screen with Papa JC TMC written on it, and it looks lovely.
Okay, fine. I don't know. There's some connection issue here which I'm having, so probably that's why I'm not visible.
Yeah, we have you in two screens. One microphone is muted.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Wait. I don't know what's
Look at
happening.
it. God, you're stuck at sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, friends. There's some issue in connection here. I was trying to work with my hotspot, but garbad ho raha hai. Really sorry for this. Going back to this topic we were addressing, can we move on to this quick topic of food, weight loss, and mind? Your favorite topic. How to address that?
यही तो बात कर रहे थे इतनी देर.
नहीं, हम तो questions का आंसर कर रहे थे. मुझे लगा आपका खुद का जो address होगा, that be more interesting.
नहीं, it's the same thing. As I said, food has always to do with food issues. Like if you have binging issues, bulimia or anorexia, or if you have even weight issues, too thin or too fat, whatever it is, it's all related to lack of self-worth, bottom line.
Great. Now there are other things which always bothers me is what is that hypnotize जो करते हैं ना आप, that
हाँ, वो hypnotize जो करते हैं.
वो क्या होता है, मतलब
I have been so tired of answering this question to everyone. So hypnotize, we are all every day, every moment being hypnotized. You are hypnotized. You don't need anyone to be hypnotized. Say, for example, I'm talking to you, JC, and there would be a moment that you are completely lost. You're somewhere else. You're in a trance. You're not with me. That is hypnotize. And all of us, we face this. So we go into a trance. We go into a different place than the present where we are. And through therapy, through guidance, that space can be therapeutic. We can resolve different things that you're dealing with, emotional issues, psychological issues, physical issues in that trance.
Okay, so and that state of mind is not connected with the real life, is it? I mean, when I'm in that trance,
Are you not alive? Like, are you by any chance dead at that moment?
No, I'm very much alive.
Then?
You can see me, right?
No, I mean, in a trance, you said I'm not in my real life. That's why I'm taking that as a pun.
Okay, but okay, that way. But considering the hypnosis, whatever you say, वो मतलब basically when you are hypnotizing me, so my state of mind is not the state of mind which I should be right now, is it?
There is two difference: hypnosis and hypnotherapy. They are
Okay.
not exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Hypnotherapy is a therapeutic, psychotherapeutic modality through which we address issues that the client is going through and resolve them. Hypnosis is a state of trance. That's it.
Okay, I get it. Now I get it. Thank you so much. Is it bothering you? Am I making you angry by any chance because of the difficulty of connections?
See, if it would be really, you would be one person in my whole life who would really make me angry, then I would really welcome that.
Okay, fine. We want to very eagerly do this meditation that you had mentioned about.
Sure, let's go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it. How do we do this? I mean, you want us to take some positions or some...
So I'll just explain this a bit before we get into the position. I'll just explain this a little bit of background information.
Yeah.
So in meditation, I don't know how many of you meditate regularly or have any experience of meditation. Meditation is basically a method through which we connect internally. We distract ourselves from the external world and we connect with our internal emotions, internal thoughts, our physical body, and everything that goes inside of us. I have been meditating for the last 31 years of my life, even though not regularly in the beginning, but very, very regularly for the last 15 years. Every single day for hours, I meditate. But that's like has become a part and parcel of my life. And I can't even imagine a day where I haven't meditated. It's like I haven't gone to the washroom after getting up in the morning. It's the same thing for me. So there are lots of benefits, lots and lots of benefits. One of them, JC, would be like me still, if you really, what you said, that I'm in college when I'm about 50 years old today, then that would be one of that, the benefit of meditation.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, I said one of the benefit of meditation would be to preserve yourself.
Okay.
And there is this meditation I was thinking about. I have done this before, and it's a visualization meditation. So we are going to go inside the body. We're going to visualize the body inside, how it looks like. And we are going to strengthen our immune system. Everyone is there with me? Everyone's understanding what I'm trying to say? Just write something on the chat box so that I know you are understanding. Cool.
Please feel free to write and interact with her because I am almost invisible to all.
Yeah, so cool. Thank you so much. So how the body's immunity functions. We have a microbiome inside our body where trillions of microbes, they live inside our body and outside the body, on the skin, on the scalp, inside our mouth, the esophagus, the digestive tract, the intestine, everywhere. And you know where are the most microbes in the body? It's inside the vagina. And that's why when we have a natural birth, it's more encouraged to have a natural birth than C-section, because the child comes through the birth canal where there is the maximum numbers of microbes, and the child develops automatically immunity for those microbes while the child is coming out through the birth canal. That's why the natural birth is so much, encouraged for mothers, pregnant women. So everywhere in our body, we have trillions and trillions of microbes. They are bacteria, they are viruses, other kind of protozoas. They, along with the T cells, which comprises our white blood corpuscles, they together form a team, and they together helps us to combat pathogens when they invade our body. So the whole process works like this. The microbes are everywhere. So when there is a pathogen that enters the body, they identify the microbe, they identify the pathogen, and they send intruder alert to the T cells. They release a chemical, a stress chemical, so that the T cells can find their way to where the pathogens are. And the T cells, they come, and through a mechanism which is called phagocytosis, like they eat up the foreign body or the pathogen which has invaded the body. And this is how our body is surviving for years and years. And there are always pathogens around in the atmosphere. They invade our body, but still we don't fall sick. This is how the body functions.
Yeah, please go on. Phone nahi lena chahiye.
No. I think the ma'am's that has frozen. Dubai link we have lost.
I am here. I'm very much here. I'm not lost anywhere. Please go on. Please don't stop.
We have lost the connection, ma'am's connection.
Oh, ma'am's connection. Okay. I think there's a huge connectivity issue today. But anyhow, we're managing. Don't use that phone.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, fine. Because, yeah, are we there? Ma'am, is ma'am in? Can you please see the thing? Because I'm not able to control the host. Ravi,
Yeah,
can you see ma'am at the gate?
No,
She's
no.
entered.
Let me check.
The connectivity issues are actually catching up now. There she is in. Is she in?
No, the window is on, but we have lost her. Can you just give her a call?
I have to give her a call. Yeah. Then I'll again go off connection. What? She will just come. Just keep a check on the. We have Sujok by Dr. Preeti Ganatra. Day after we have on menopause. Menopause again is a very interesting topic which will keep you glued. There she is in, and we are taking her in. कुछ बोलना पड़ता है ताकि आप लोग लगे कि active हैं हम लोग. One of the excellent sessions. Okay. I think she's back. She's back. Ravi, please take her in.
Yes, she's in. She's still joining.
She's in.
Yeah.
Audio connect. Audio connect. The speakers. किसमें लेना है बस computers पे.
Audio. Should I connect the audio here?
Wait. Yeah, you're there, ma'am. You went off connection.
Yeah, I know. My internet. Can you
Yeah,
hear
you're
me?
there.
Yeah, it's okay, ma'am.
Yeah, we can hear.
You can continue.
Well, I'm so sorry. So, as I was saying, the microbes, they do another thing. They just, when they track an invader, like a pathogen that's come into the body, they immediately start multiplying and growing in number and population. They create shortage for food for the pathogen inside the body, so that the pathogen can die without food. This is how the T cells and the microbes they together, they function for the immunity of our body. In this meditation, I would guide you now into visualizing inside the body these T cells and the microbes. They're all together, how they are functioning. You're going to visualize how your body is functioning, and you're going to strengthen them. You're going to strengthen your own immune system through this meditation. And that is really powerful because, you know, like how it is the natural microbiome of our body, like an ecosystem. And inside this ecosystem, imagine if there is a threat to the ecosystem, like in a house, say in an office, everyone is working. You're doing your respective work. And then there is the fire alarm that goes on. What will happen? Immediately, you're going to leave the work that you are doing. You're going to run out of the building to save yourself. That's what exactly happens to the immune system inside our body when we constantly think of bad things happening to us. The body is set into alarm, and all the microbes and the T cells, whatever they are supposed to do naturally, that's their job. They are on the job constantly 24/7. They just leave the job and they engage in self-defense. They just engage into preserving themselves and they stop doing what they have to do. And that is when the pathogen comes quietly into the body and does what it has to do. The second thing, you have to imagine like the fire alarm is on. It's a false alarm because you are giving false alarm from your head into your body. You don't know, you can't detect a virus, you can't detect a pathogen entering your body, but by your imagination, by your fear, by your phobia, you are giving your body false alarm all the time. It's like the fire alarm is on and the firefighters are coming every moment. They're coming, searching for the fire. There is no fire to put off. And they're going back. And when the real fire breaks in the house, then the firefighters are already tired. Like the T cells, they're already tired and they cannot combat the fire. And then the house destroys. So keeping this in mind, I'm going to guide you now into the meditation. I would like you to take the most comfortable position that you can. Whether you like it sitting down, whether you like to lie down, you just need to hear me. That's all. You can rest on the wall that you're sitting and rest your back. I don't want your back to be paining after this meditation. So just rest. Be as comfortable as you can. And take a deep breath. Fill up your lungs. And as you exhale, close your eyes. JC, can we have all the microphones muted, please?
Sorry, all muted.
All the microphones except mine muted. And then
Ravi, please unmute her. She is muted.
cool. Can I proceed? Okay, right. So with your eyes closed, the next breath you're going to imagine is entering your body and caressing every part of your body. Every cell, every tissue, fiber. Imagine your breath caressing you like the gentle breeze when you're standing in the seashore, caressing your whole body. And you're beginning to feel so relaxed, so calm. One more breath, imagining again standing by the seashore and the gentle breeze of the ocean caressing you. With your eyes closed,
You're just enjoying this breeze, making you feel so calm, so relaxed. And as you imagine yourself in front of the ocean, imagine standing on a dock or a jetty, and imagine that there is a submarine that pops up right in front of you. And the submarine, the lid opens, and you open your eyes, and you're very curious. You get inside the submarine and you close the lid. In your imagination, you see yourself inside this magical sub, a beautiful, magical submarine. The magical submarine begins to shrink and become smaller and smaller and smaller. The water around you changes to your bloodstream. And the submarine takes you inside your bloodstream, inside your blood vessels, inside your body. And now you're going to imagine yourself inside your bloodstream, protected, shielded, inside the submarine. But you are viewing your whole body, all the red blood corpuscles, the white blood corpuscles, the platelets, and other elements that you can see from the window of the submarine. You are as tiny as the corpuscles in your blood. And you can see them as figures. You can personify them. You can imagine them as the white blood corpuscles, the T cells, as knights in armors protecting your body. You can imagine the microbes as commanders and soldiers continuously working day and night, 24 hours, 24/7, 365 days, as long as you're going to live on the planet, protecting your body because you're the host. And they have to survive. If you survive, they survive. If you're not there, they don't survive. It is their primary job to keep you alive. So in your imagination, each one of you will have your own unique experience. I'm going to leave you here to visualize your whole body just the way you want to imagine it. And I'm going to come back and join you in your experience just a few moments after. So continue in your own journey. And just like every other being on the planet, when people feel safe, they perform their best. When people feel loved, they are most productive. You're going to convey this message to your body. You're going to make your body, all the white blood corpuscles and the microbes that unite together to form this army, this battalion that's working day and night to keep you safe. Show your love, your appreciation, your gratitude towards your body, towards these organisms inside you. Tell them in your own ways, in your own words, that you are grateful and you're happy that they have been doing their best all these years of your life. They have been keeping you safe even when you were not even worried, even when you were not thinking of a virus. The virus was always there, somewhere lurking. It might have also invaded you, but you never came to know because this battalion was there to protect your body. So today, take this moment to trust them once again to the job that they know best to do. Make them feel safe inside your body. It's their home. Tell them you're safe here. Do what you do best. I'm grateful. Open your heart. Open your heart to the love that you have for yourself and express it in your own way, in your own words. Do it for yourself. And just look at them now. When you had first looked at them, and after you spoke to them, you expressed your gratitude, you made them feel safe and loved. Has anything changed? Has anything changed in the energy in which they are functioning? Just feel it. Feel the difference. And take a deep breath, lung feeling breath, and feel this. Feel this love for yourself that's inside your body. Feel the safety that you can create within your body every single day by taking 5 minutes for yourself, getting inside your body, feeling grateful, expressing your thanks and love for yourself. This is the minimum that you can do for yourself. And feel this lightness, the deep relaxation and calmness that taking over your body now. And the sub brings you back again on the surface of the water. The blood has changed. It's back to the water, and the submarine has come back to its normal size and shape. And you come out of the submarine now, come back to the shore where you were, and the submarine just disappears. Take a few deep breaths. Collect yourself back. Bring yourself back to this moment, to the here and the now. And with so much peace, deep gratitude, all of you can again open your eyes back. And welcome back.
Actually, your voice is so therapeutic. I almost dozed off twice.
God, I hope, I hope you could at least do the meditation.
Oh, yes, I did it. I enjoyed it so much. You were doing it so beautifully. Your voice, the way you were talking, is by itself meditation.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you guys could relate to this and follow the guidance.
Okay. Can we have comments from all of you how you liked this session? This was something very unique. We have never done this before. And she has explained meditation in such a beautiful language. Something so music, talking, we were talking to our insight, we were talking to our things inside us. And people are all writing very good comments. Huh? Can you read them?
I'm so thankful.
Sarmishtha ji,
I'm so thankful.
you're writing so beautifully. This is so nice. One of the best sessions we've ever had. In fact, one of very good and light sessions.
I'm so thankful that
Please
we
tell
are
us how do we take this forward in case people want to connect with you? How do they connect with you?
So, what I would like to offer is in the future, if anyone's interested for programs like personal development programs, as I call it, self-integration. If anyone is interested, I offer online programs for self-integration to understand those images that we can't see, to open that blindfold and to see ourselves even better. I do trauma healing also, like locked trauma in the body, cellular memory release, any kind of trauma related issue that we have in the physical body. I have different techniques which I use to release it from the body. So I help clients online to do those on themselves to gain back mobility and to gain back, harmony in the body. So I would like you to come, like in the future, like we can organize workshops and we can organize this kind of self-development and trauma releasing therapeutic work as workshops online.
She has raised her hand. Can we unmute her, Ravi, please? Falguni ji, you are... Ravi, can you please help me unmute her?
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Falguni.
Sarmishtha. That was a really lovely session.
Thank you
And
so
it's just one intriguing question after listening to your session that what really shapes a person? Because there's the genetic factor, the environmental one, the good parenting, and of course the school that you go to, which you spend nearly 18 years. So what really you think is more overpowering? Is it, what do you think that shapes a person's life, when so many factors are there? So
Yeah, so as I was saying from the beginning, we just learn to self-preserve and to get acceptance. That is what actually shapes us to becoming who we are. And then finally, there would be a time when we would bang our head somewhere very hard, and then we would open the blindfold and we would really like to know who we really are. And then is the time that we would really like to understand, are we more than what we are? And then we have the choice. And that is what the adult does. You, as the adult of today, you have the choice to become who you want to be. You don't have to be epigenetic or the genetic or the the culturalization of your society or the religion that has taught you or the parents that has taught you. You don't have to be that. You don't have to be someone who was just always preserving herself or trying to feel accepted through her behavior. You don't have to be that one.
but what influences a person the most? I mean, the genetic.
Everything influences, because genetic, like, let me give you an example. It'll be easy to understand. So if your mother had arthritis, and that you'll go to the doctor if you have, and the doctor would say, did your mother had arthritis? You'd say yes. So it's genetic. You got it from your mother. I understand you get it from your mother, but maybe you have 5 siblings. Not all of them had arthritis. Why did you get? Why did the other 4 siblings didn't get it? There is something in you that triggered that genetical factor.
Yeah.
And that is what you can change. Through learned behavior, you have to relearn yourself to understand that. So whatever genetics is, it's there. Our ancestors, everything good and everything bad is here in my gene. Why am I only
Yeah.
expressing a few of that and not the rest of it?
True. Yeah, but it's just so complicated to understand, that what
Not
actually
really,
makes a human.
actually, Falguni, what I personally feel through my understanding of my work and my life, we have digressed ourselves a lot over the period of time because we have lost this connection with ourselves. I think it is time as humanity and as a society, as a cultured, educated society, to find ourselves, that root back. We are not just what is told to us to be. We have to find ourselves back. It's high time, I think,
Yeah.
now.
So what do you think that plays a major role? The genes does not say the human behavior or the way you look, you inherit that from your parents. So I think many things that inherit the anger, the way
No, you don't inherit all of, nothing do you inherit. You learn everything, and then something that you need for self-preservation or for self-acceptance, which is already there in your gene, gets triggered. That is totally dependent on your perception of life, which is unique, relate not as much as the other siblings that you had. So it's just
Right.
totally unique perception that you have of your life, which is related to how you have learned self-preservation and acceptance will trigger those genetic factors in you.
Right. So when you're actually counseling a patient or you're healing a patient, do you not feel it's important to take the family history, or so you're just looking at the person itself, or you're looking
So
at
the
his background as well?
the person of course comes with an issue, right? If you come with an
Yeah.
issue, then you're talking about this issue. So what do you want? Do you want to get out of it, or you want to manage it, or what is it that you want? Depending on what you want, then I tailor the therapy accordingly.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Falguni ji. Thank you for coming back. You did a wonderful show yesterday. Yesterday was a very good show on
Thank you so
diabetes.
much.
She
Thank you.
was
And I'm
the
enjoying
one.
this
She was a
one as
guest of
well.
honor.
I'm enjoying
Yeah,
this one as well.
this was like mind blowing, miracle. It was miracle, unexpected. It unfolded so beautifully. And Sarmishtha ji, the way you talk is therapeutic. You don't need any music. So your talking will be recorded somewhere, and I'm going to put it on and sleep.
It's so flattering to listen to you. I wish you could talk to me every day. Then my ego will float and become
Oh,
bigger
yes.
one day.
I'll give you my personal number now.
Thank you so much,
much.
JC.
And
Thank you so much for the
talking
kindness.
about the session. Manoj, you were saying something. Manoj Pasari, you wanted to say something to her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I absolutely
Hi,
agree with you, JC. Sarmishtha, you were mind blowing. Believe me, I do a lot of meditation, but it's no flattering. Please, it's no flattering. It's an absolute reality that this one was the best of all. And I promise that I'm going to be practicing it for the rest of my life.
Thank
Okay,
you so
second
much.
thing,
I'm so
I just
grateful.
want a small tip from you. I want a small tip from you. We were talking of stress, we were talking of anger management and all that. There are times, when you get angry, when you're stressed, is there something, which you can do, when you are stressed or when you have that moment, when you are angry, is there something which can be done to check that moment and, get
Yes,
out of that? I just want that small.
yes, definitely. So every time you're having an internal reaction, what is stress? What is anger? You're having an internal reaction to something outside, isn't it? Manoj,
I
it is a
think so,
question
yes.
to you. Yeah, it's an internal reaction to something outside. And in order to overcome that internal reaction, we have a behavior. We create an unconscious behavior to deal with it, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so what do you do? Again, the first thing that I started with is look at yourself, the reflection, what this person or the stressful situation, what is it? Why are you triggered? What is triggering you? What is that internal response that you're giving? Why are you giving that response?
Okay.
If you can ask yourself these few questions, you'll sort out yourself immediately. What is my trigger to this problem? Why am I stressed? So I am feeling unresourceful to what? So why don't I have the resource to deal with it? What should I do to get, what resource do I need right now, and how should I get it?
I'm sure, what you're saying works for the stress part of it. But on anger, when you are actually angry, or, you have that bout, you are just out of
So
your
what
mind.
we do in those cases, just when you have that internal reaction, immediately check yourself, count till 10 and leave the room.
Okay. Thank you. Let me try and
So
work this out.
once you count 10 and leave the room and you come back again, you have forgotten what it was all about.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
His wife won't let him come back again. His wife won't let him enter. So if he leaves the room, he's gone. He has to
Then
sleep
it's gone.
outside.
How the hell did you leave?
No, he's joking. That was a lighter moment. We believe what you said making more sense. What you're saying is making more sense. That was a lighter. He's a friend of ours and he's a part of the whole admin.
I'm sure.
And we have another hand raised. We have another hand raised. Monica ji, you are unmuted. Please ask.
Yeah, hello. Thank you, Sarmishtha ji, for such nice meditation. I have never experienced this. So I don't know whether it is fair enough to ask for this or not. Can you just record the audio part of it so that we can meditate regularly using this?
JC, it's for you.
Yeah,
JC,
so we have,
okay.
I was just thinking loudly that we may do a joint session with you. Sarmishtha, if you're okay with this, we could conduct a particular session here, particularly for people who want to do meditation together. We could conduct a workshop.
Yeah.
So
I'm open to that.
Let's conduct a workshop where you teach us how to meditate and the way we take it forward. I'll connect with you on this. Then we can take this concept of workshops on your subject and other subjects.
Sure.
So Monica ji, we will return with this to you soon.
Thank you so much.
We had a great session, Sarmishtha ji, coming all the way from Dubai. Your connection also tripped. मेरा तो 3 बार trip यही था. Your connection also tripped.
My Wi-Fi tripped and I had to log on to data. I'm on data now, so it's okay.
So from tomorrow we will again do the same thing. I'll have 2-3 parallel connections. I am going to come back again tomorrow for Suchok, and I invite you to also come in and just see how the curing is done with the points in our hands.
Okay. Thank you
so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. And friends, please come back tomorrow. And Ravi, Manoj, Kavita, thank you so much. Deepshika was here today too. Thank you all of you for being here. It was a great session, and we really enjoyed it.
JC, I would like you to give people my website and my Facebook page also, if they would like to connect to me personally.
Certainly, I'll do that. Do that. In fact, if you want to share your number or anything here, you can always do that right away. If they need to call you, they can directly call you.
Yeah, calling would be a little difficult because as it is, Dubai, every free call is banned. They have to call on local line. So that would be more expensive for everyone.
Okay.
So you know that, right? That every free call is banned in Dubai.
Who is Sandeep? Sandeep is somebody related to you?
Sandeep is my very good friend.
Awesome. So Sandeep is doing that honors already. He's already shared the website. Please connect with her and do stay in touch with her. In fact, we will do a joint session soon, a workshop on meditation. I will invite her again for this session soon. So thank you all of you. Thank you, Sarmishtha ji, for being here. We really enjoyed.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Really, really wonderful being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.